In communication skills, cross-cultural communication is very important because when we are the part of any business or any organization, nowadays the world has changed into the global village. And in this global village, on every second, we are basically communicating to the people who are not from our culture, who are not from the same culture. And definitely, we are communicating internationally. So, for this purpose, we need to know about few norms of cultural communication. Uh, for this purpose, there is a thumb rule that I'd like to explain. Whenever you are communicating with someone, your aim should be to try to treat people not in the way you wish to be treated, but rather treat them in the way they want to be treated. लोगों को आपने इस तरह ट्रीट नहीं करना जिस तरह आप ट्रीट करना चाहते हैं, बल्कि लोगों को आपने इस तरह ट्रीट करना है जिस तरह वो चाहते हैं उनको ट्रीट किया जाए. So this is the basic thumb rule, particularly for cross-cultural communication. And today our topic is the intercultural sensitivities. How we can communicate effectively in a cross-cultural atmosphere, and it is possible if we do understand intercultural sensitivities. So what are those intercultural sensitivities? First of all, in intercultural, you know very well the meaning of the word culture. We need to discuss a very basic word, inter and intra. Inter mean not only in the one whole, outside that one, and intra is in the one whole. For example, I'd like to say in your university, if there is a cricket tournament, and that is interdepartmental cricket tournament. So it means this tournament is between mechanical engineering department, electrical engineering department, civil engineering department, medical department, mathematics department, Islamic studies department, and all these different departments. So this is the inter. So usually we use the word inter, and this is misinterpreted by the students, and they consider inter is within oneself, but it is different. Within oneself is intra. Now if we are saying there is an intra-departmental tournament, so it means there's a tournament within mechanical engineering or within uh, mathematics department or Islamic studies department, within that department, not outside that one. So this is inter or intra difference. Now by this example you can understand easily intercultural sensitivities. It means intercultural, not in one culture. There's a Pakistani culture, Indian culture, American culture. So when there is a communication between these different cultures, for example, if you are being Pakistani, you're talking to a person in England, so that kind of communication is intercultural communication. Well, I have already explained that world is a global village and your businesses are not country bound or culture bound. So that's why for successful business, you need to know few norms of the other culture, or if you don't know, it doesn't matter. But while you're communicating, you should remain so neutral that unintentionally even you are not attacking any other culture. So what is the culture now? Culture is basically a shared system of belief, attitudes, and values. This is a norm of behavior. Mean members of one culture share one set of belief, attitude, expectations, or norms whatsoever. So it means the members of one culture is presenting one whole. So they are touchy about their beliefs, their values, their attitudes. Uh, that's why we need to take a look at these aspects, at cultural aspects of the people or of the communities when we are communicating with them. I have already explained this intercultural communication to you. Now let's move forward. How we can improve cross-cultural communication. Now, for a second, think to yourself and suppose that you are a successful business tycoon in your country and now you want to expand your business across the world. So, what do you think? How you can achieve the effective cross-cultural communication which will give boost to your business? So, think to yourself, put yourself in this scenario for a moment, and then think. So, communication can bring you to the track, but how the successful communication can be achieved? Okay, what do you think? Now, cross check it with this one. First, you need to recognize the intercultural differences. You need to accept the difference in belief and the assumptions. For example, if you believe something and other person is not believing the same thing, you need to be willing to accept his views as well. If you are not accepting, it doesn't matter, but you need not to bluntly disagree or you need not to attack on their beliefs or assumptions. You need to be open minded. Another thing, you need to be open minded, and you need to have some kind of space for uh, understanding the standards and the theories the people of the other culture believe in. It isn't, I'm not saying that you do believe in the same thing, but I'm saying that your wording should not target their beliefs. So the same is going on nowadays in this issue. So basically, the people in the West, they are not understanding what are our emotional attachments with our Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So they intentionally or unintentionally, that is another theory, but they are targeting this thing, and it is creating a great chaos in the world. So sometime it may happen that on the basis of religion, color, creed, or caste, we don't consider the other people, and we speak in such a way that they consider it a kind of attack on their culture, and then your communication will all be at loss. Now your aim should be try to treat, earlier on I have explained this one, that you should treat the people how they are expecting to be treated. You not treat them in your own way. The biggest hurdle, the biggest cultural sensitivity, which is, we can say, the main hurdle in the way of cross cultural communication, is ethnocentrism. What is ethnocentrism? Everyone, if you look at this thing closely, then everyone believe it. But when you are talking to someone else, you not put it on your head, on the other's head, this belief that your culture is superior to other, and that's why you are going to taunt the other people. So ethnocentrism is basically considering one's own culture superior, and this may be the biggest barrier. For example, it's a well recognized thing that everyone consider his culture superior, that's why he is adopting that culture. But again, I am saying, considering one's culture superior is not a matter or is not ethnocentrism, but it can cause a problem when you are trying to pose always that your culture is superior and you are trying to belittle the other's culture. So it is uh, uh, quite sensitive issue for the other persons who are listening you. Definitely you have adopted one culture because you consider it the best one, but when you are trying to pose that you are the superior and others are inferior and their culture is inferior, mean indirectly when you are considering their culture inferior, or you do consider but you are posing in your communication that their culture is inferior, you are directly telling those people that they are inferior. And in this case, your communication is not going to be effective. So this is the main point that you need to consider always when you are involving in cross-cultural communication. For example, considering Idris is a lifesaver in the whole world. He was considered, sorry, he's not now in the world. But if there are few people in the world who are Islamophobic kind of people, but they are uh, belittling Idri's effort just on the basis because he's Muslim or he's from Pakistan. So that will definitely, if someone, if even you don't like Idri, but someone if speak like this in front of you against Idri, and that is not from your culture, you won't feel good. So this can be a problem. Then how you can avoid ethnocentricity? There are 10 steps or 10 different strategies that we can adopt. Number one, you need to recognize the difference. You can't counter a problem unless you realize that problem. Accept and acknowledge that there are distinctions between your own culture and those of the other people. If you don't acknowledge these distinctions, and then you are trying to do the same thing with the other people as you are doing within your culture, then it can cause the problem. So you recognize those differences and you consider that on those basis of those differences you are not going to target the other people and their culture. Then you need to avoid the assumption. Keep it in your mind that other people will not behave in a way as you are wanting them to behave. They behave according to their fundamental beliefs, and their fundamental beliefs are not the same as yours. So you need to avoid assumptions about them. And I'd like to quote one example here. Probably most of the people in you have seen a few Indian movies, and I don't remember that movie exactly, but there was a movie that uh, a girl, she was made to hate a Pakistani boy because he was a Pakistani, and it was considered and it was assumed that he is Pakistani, so that's why he won't be loyal. So, in the same way, if you are considering on the basis of the culture and creed that that person is not trustworthy, that person is not loyal, then how you can do a trustworthy communication? Then don't prejudge. This can be the same one. Mean, if the people act different to you, do not automatically assume that they are wrong, that their way is unacceptable, or that your culture and customs are more superior to theirs. For example, sometimes we prejudge the people. Sometimes we consider this person is quite friendly, but later on he deceives you. Sometimes you consider this person is quite harsh, but that person is quite straightforward and sincere. So if you are prejudging the people with their behavior, with their style even, then that can cause this ethnocentric problem as well. What you need to do now to avoid these problems, you need to show respect to the other people. This is the main principle. This is the principle of Islam as well. You show respect to others. ये कहा गया है अक्सर औकात, हम तो मसालिक पे बहुत लड़ाई करते हैं कि किसी के खुदा को बुरा ना कहो, ऐसा ना हो वो तुम्हारे खुदा को बुरा कह दे. So first thing, show respect to others. Show respect to others' color, creed, whatsoever they have. In this way, I can say every culture has its own style. So try to respect their gestures and postures. Sometimes a wrong pragmatic clue can be a communicative failure. How it can be, so I'd like to narrate here an event, usually in Pakistan or in our culture. This is a male Schwenzetic society, so we consider the male people better one. सो इसीलिए बहुत सारी लड़कियां भी जो बड़ी स्ट्रांग होती हैं वो कहती हैं कि बाबा मैं आपका बेटा बेटी नहीं बेटा हूँ. बट when it comes to the foreign culture, mean if you are seeing a girl that you are like a boy in England or Britain culture, they will mind it because in their culture girl is as strong as the man. So that's why these are quite tiny kind of things, but they can create a big difference. So that's why you need to show respect to other cultures, their symbol and their pragmatic values and clues. Then you need to show empathy, you need to show understanding, you need to show polite behavior to others, and you need to put yourself in the shoe of your audience. Then you can avoid this ethnocentricity as well. Do not prejudge, we have discussed earlier on. Don't be prejudgmental. Try to listen to the people. We have discussed this in listening as well. If we prejudge, we jump to the conclusion, then we won't be able to listen and learn from the people. I mean, if someone is trying to teach you a topic, but you consider that you know better than him, how you are going to learn it? So that's why don't prejudge. Listen to the people. Be open minded. It's always a good strategy in communication, whether it is intercultural communication or intracultural communication, uh, daily life communication or international communication, whatsoever it is, you need to be open minded. Avoid distractions. Sometimes we are too much impressed with someone's dressing, and sometimes we disrespect few people on the basis of their dressings. So it is usually happen in our Asian culture that if someone has dressed so well but he has no talent, he has no content with him, we try to inspire ourselves. Rather, we need to look at the content that someone is presenting. So it happens usually when we look someone and we look his looks are not so good, his dress is not so good, then we don't focus on his content, what he is trying to present. So these kind of distractions are mere distractions. We need to avoid them. For example, let me tell you, in our Pakistani culture, we usually considered and it is asked that being a lecturer, being a teacher, what you need to do, you need to be well dressed, you have a properly pressed shirt and tie, and you wear proper dress like this, each and everything should be properly creased, and then you come to the class. And if a teacher is coming and he's wearing the jeans and now this culture has changed a bit, but his appearance is not so good to the people, mean to the students. It looks like he has a kind of Einstein or Newton's look, then they don't consider to listen him. Usually they don't take him serious, while it doesn't happen in the foreign cultures. The professors come in the class, they don't look at their appearance, but they look at their delivery and they try to learn from them. So in the cross-cultural communication, don't try to be distracted with the appearance of the people. Every culture has its own norm. If you see at a person he is from Africa and he is wearing quite colorful kind of things, uh, color kind of stuff, and you are considering he is looking like a cartoon, so that's not the right thing. You are not going to listen him. So avoid these kind of distractions in the cross cultural communication. Then be patient. Everyone try to communicate in his own style, in his own culture. So be patient, give respect to them, and sometime the people are not ready to listen you due to the difference of culture. But you need to be persistent. When you need to be persistent, you need not to be aggressive. In a polite way, you need to be persistent and patient, and you keep conveying your point in a different styles which will appeal to the audience, and ultimately you will get its benefit. Then look for the similarities, look for the common things to make the interaction amiable. You have to look You have to find out the common grounds. Whatever is the common. As it is said, do in Rome as Romans do. For example, if you are going in the community and in a culture and you are wearing their dress, then they will consider you as a part of their community. So, in the same way, try to find out the common thing. If you are going to another Muslim country and you are Muslim, then you try to find out the similarity of Islam. If you are going in any other country which is not Muslim and your targeted participants of communication are not Muslims, but your cultural values, there are something few things which are common in your cultural values, then start from those values. Increase this will increase your acceptability among the people in cross cultural communication, and it will avoid the ethnocentricity. Then send the clear messages. Make sure whatever you have written in your verbal communication and your non-verbal communication, that should be quite clear, reliable and consistent. It should not be like that whatever you are writing through your verbal or non-verbal communication, that is not quite clear. So that's why earlier on I was talking about the pragmatic clues. I mean, even when you are trying to post something that is positive, pose it in a positive way and clear way. Then recognize your prejudices. Everyone definitely has few beliefs and he is partial in that way. You learn to appreciate sometime in other cultures when you are communicating, uh, they are touching your that partial behavior, but you need to remain neutral. You need to accept the theories and the belief of the other people and appreciate their positive things. So you need not to be partial, biased or prejudiced all the time. You need to be acceptable, because prejudice is a kind of thing which will ultimately bring a problem in any kind of communication. So you need to be remain a bit normal. If you're already thinking negative about someone, how you can accept and how you can communicate with him. Then last but not least, treat people as individual. Don't stereotype. Earlier on we have discussed stereotyping. Don't stereotype, treat the people individual. Everyone, even if he is the part of one culture or his one group, but he has his individual differences, individual attributes. So try to keep those individual differences and attributes in your mind, rather than always tagging him with some particular kind of culture or people. And uh, this kind of these kind of steps, if you take them properly, then you can avoid ethnocentricity, and you can be found yourself on a very high place when you are communicating cross culturally. So you need to avoid all these intercultural sensitivities to avoid cross cultural successful communication.